welcome to the wide and wacky world of the Legacy format. My name is Joe Dyer, and I will be your host for this video. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys like this content. And today we're going to be cooking up some value with Asmor and Underworld Cookbook. The name Cooking Up Value comes to us from a good friend of mine named Kyle, aka On the Wind, from the MTG Legacy Discord. So thank you, Kyle, for providing this name. Another name that also kind of got up there was the All You Can Beat Buffet by Sophia the Vampire Queen. So thank you, Sophia, for also supplying a good name for this deck as well. This deck is basically what it sounds like. It is an Asmor and Underworld Cookbook deck that uses cards like Faithless Looting to enable Asmor, Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer, Mox Opal. But the real spice of this deck and the real value of this deck comes from the other cards in the deck, such as Academy Manufactor. Oval Chase Daredevil is a combo with Cookbook to where you can discard Oval Chase Daredevil. An artifact enters the battlefield. You return Oval Chase Daredevil to your hand. With Academy Manufacturers in play, that also generates additional permanents. So there's a joke that this deck could also be called Game Objects because it generates a lot of game objects if you can do it correctly. We also have Thought Monitor to draw extra cards, and of course we can weld those back in and out with Goblin Welder, that sort of thing. We also have Time Sieve, which is a tap sack 5 artifacts, take an extra turn. When you have Academy Manufacturer and Cookbook running, you can very quickly generate permanents to sacrifice to Time Sieve so that you can basically put your opponent in a loop. Of course, this being a artifact-based deck, we are also playing cards like Urza Saga because we have to be able to generate some value with that. That card is just upside all around. We have a Wasteland for use with Crucible Worlds, which we can Goblin Engineer Crucible Worlds into the graveyard, weld back in Crucible Worlds, and then we can start actually like Wasteland locking our opponent because of all the artifact mana. As far as the sideboard is concerned, we get some typical cards we like to see in the format. Our Leyline of the Void. This deck can't really afford other graveyard hate other than like the Soul Guide Lantern in the main deck, which is pretty good graveyard hate anyways. But Leyline of the Void is pretty useful in that regard. We have Thoughtseize for combo decks, Pyroblast for blue decks. Gear Report Aether Grid is really good for decks that play a lot of creatures. Death and Taxes, Elves, that sort of thing is really good. Aether Spellbomb for bouncing creatures back to their hands, really good against cards like Murktide Regent, Cauldron Complete, the Germ token from Cauldron Complete. Pithing Needle for just the wide variety of things that Pithing Needle answers. Naming Wasteland in case you're playing against a Wasteland heavy deck. Naming cards that hurt you in some way. Karakas, Stoneforge Mystic, you name it, stuff like that. Ensnaring Bridge for creature decks as well, because you can really empty your hand well enough to where decks like Elves especially can't bust through your Ensnaring Bridge unless they have a removal spell for it. And Trinosphere to kind of like for general decks like combo decks and stuff like that rely on casting a lot of spells to be able to put them off of mana. So this deck is a lot of fun. I've really kind of enjoyed playing this deck. I found the shell for this deck on the MTG Goldfish website actually, and it was from a deck builder that had 5-0'd a league with something similar to this deck, and I thought it was really cool. That person's name was they were Karandi Cakes on Magic Online. They had posted a 5-0 in a league with a similar deck to this. I thought it looked really cool. Pretty excited to see it in play. So definitely giving this a shot. So we're going to play a league with this deck. So we're going to head right over to the league here shortly. All right. And we found our first match. See what we come across here. Yes, we are on the play. We'd like to play first. That seems pretty good. This hand is unique. I don't know what this hand does. We do get to go turn 1 Great Furnace, turn Mox Opal, turn 2 Great Furnace. We get to cast Goblin Engineer. Maybe we get a cookbook. Might be worth trying to keep. We'll see. A lot of this deck is sequencing and whatnot, and makes it kind of awkward if we get wastelanded here. Tundra. Tundra Ponder. So far, our opponent is more than likely on a control variant, but they could also be on one of the tempo variants. Drawing another Asmor. I'll put a Goblin Engineer into play. We'll put a cookbook in the yard. Opponent, let's see what you got. Brainstorm. Do they have a land to follow up the Brainstorm? Yes, they do. Prismatic Vista. They probably have a Swords of Plowshares to plow the... Yep. Pretty much what I've come to expect from playing a Goblin Engineer and whatnot is that you have to expect the fact that you're going to hit a Swords of Plowshare at some point. Oh, but we get to play a Thought Monitor, so that's fun. Get some card draw action. Play Saga, and then Goblin Welder. It's also possible that our opponent is on the Hull Breacher. Yeah, okay. I know what deck my opponent is on now. They are on the Hull Breacher Days Undoing deck. So that's highly amusing. We'll play a Urza Saga. We'll play a Goblin Welder. See if they force it. Well, the Goblin Welder, sure. Play a second Goblin Welder. And we will attack the Narset because I don't need them getting any more value off of this card, even though they may have already had a Days Undoing to combo with that. Unfortunately, that's the really awkward part about playing as this deck, is that they do just have this draw where they play a lot of 3-drops, but they have this draw where they can just go turn one, they can go turn thing into Days Undoing, and then you have no hand, and there we go. Like, and just attack with both. Get rid of the Narset. Brainstorm. Then we just have to hope this Urza Saga gets us there. That is part of the thing here. We kind of have to hope we can get there with Saga, and that they don't just have another set of cards that makes us draw. Teferi is also very difficult for this deck to deal with because they can bounce Urza Saga with it. And this deck plays main deck Teferi. Let's see what they've got going on. Discard a Olchi's Daredevil. Get that back. Let us cast Asmora. I feel like they have to counter this because the card just does some exceptionally silly stuff. Oh, okay. I get another cookbook. Cooking with value. Send in They have a something like a. What are we tapping a bunch of mana for? What's going on here? Oh, Shark Typhoon. You get a 3/3 shark token. That seems okay. Honestly, I'm going to make a food. Weld back in this thought monitor. Draw some cards. Play another saga. Play the second Asmor. Get another cookbook. Play a cookbook. Discard the Daredevil. Get the Daredevil back. Eat their token. So I mean, Welder here really pulled a lot of work that turn, because being able to hit a food token, get back thought monitor, seemed like a really strong play. We've now put the onus on them that they have to do something now that either wins the game or does something good enough to win the game. I'm not even sure that Teferi does it, because I can just play into using Asmor and cookbook, all the cookbooks I've got, to generate enough food to kill some things. I can't really kill Teferi with Asmor, but any amount of 1-for-1 on my... Yeah, on anything I have here is just going to lose the game. I don't even think that was good. Like, they don't have an answer to multiple constructs at this point. So Prismatic Ending Asmor didn't really seem like a strong play to me, but probably gonna do something. Yeah, okay, so they conceded to that. All right, sideboarding here. Since this is a blue deck, we do need to sideboard Pyroblast. The awkward part about this deck, playing against this deck, is that they are a Jeskai deck, so they do play cards like Meltdown out of the sideboard, and that makes the post-board matchups really, really awkward. And so that, for that reason, we just kind of like have to worry about that as a card. Probably cut the Soul Guide Lantern because it doesn't really do much here. Time Sieve might be pretty bad just because, well, they are kind of slow. If we can Time Sieve lock them, then that might be okay. Thought Monitor is pretty good because if you can drop a Thought Monitor before they melt down, then at least you have a creature. Academy Manufactor. We want Pyroblast for sure. I almost might want Thoughtseize just to rip certain cards out of their hand. Looting doesn't seem insane here, but we can also shave across the board here on some cards. May not be good, but we'll see. This Jeskai deck is very strong, though, and I definitely think it is an interesting deck, so... Alright, this seems okay. They're not playing Wastelands. But we can Thoughtseize them. So they have surgical extraction, null rod. Source of plowshares, ponder. Narset. So if we draw a land here, oh, okay, well, we gotta... See, the awkward part here is that we have to thought seize them. And take the surgical extraction. So then we can hope... Yeah, you got an Narset. And what did they reveal? Engineered explosives. Super, super fun. I'll create a food token. So they can kind of get us here with having to make them plow and engineered explosives. That's awkward. Probably should bring in pithing needle. Days, sure. Oh, okay, cute. Yeah. That does a thing. Meltdown as a card. I don't think I'm winning this game at this point. Yep. Alright. Probably want Pithy Needle for engineered explosives. Yeah, the whole Meltdown thing is just really awkward. It makes this matchup really hard post-board. Pre-board, you can probably, like I say, we could get there off the back of Sagas. Post-board is just so much more difficult. Waiting for our opponent to go to the next round. Yep, there we go. I would like to be on the play. Oh, this is interesting. This lets us thought seize. Thought seize them. Surgical extraction is a card. I don't care about the dazes because I'm just going to probably play an artifact. Probably play a pithing needle. Name Narset. No, it has to be engineered explosives. Because that's the card that beats us. The awkward thing about double days is that yeah, I don't care if you daze it. All right. I can't do anything, so Teferi is super awkward. I dislike this card for this against this deck. It's just so good against this deck. They can hit lands with it. Like they just did. They see they got a Great Furnace there. Back to my hand, putting me off a land drop. Granted, that land I was able to rip Urza Saga, but still, like they have a Dress Down in hand, and that's really awkward for Saga. Unfortunately, like I said, this is just like post board. They have such a strong. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat a Hull Breacher, especially if they have Days Undoing in their hand. They're not gonna attack. We'll make them Dress Down. Like, they have to Dress Down. I played into it. I know I did. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's the end of the first match. We'll get to see a little bit of what this deck does. So we'll go to the second match shortly here. But I feel like I probably could have played that last game a little bit better. But they just had they had a lot of disruption and a lot of stuff going on there. So we'll be headed off to the second match here shortly. All right. So here we are for the second match. So let's see what we got going on here. We are on the play. Let's see what we got going on here. This seems like a reasonable hand. We've got turn 1 Saga, a Mox Opal, a Cookbook. We can go into turn 2 Ancient Tomb. We can even pitch one of the tombs to turn on the Mox Opal. We don't need the other Ancient Tomb. Just makes things a little less painful for us. So they've got a turn 1. Okay. Hey, we're playing against Death and Taxes. Okay. So that seems pretty fun. We're just going to go on the offensive of trying to get our Saga better before their Saga's better. Put a token into play. They're probably going to get Cauldra, I would assume. Caldra's pretty good against these kind of decks, yeah. So we're probably gonna go get another Cookbook, because that lets us net some value here. We'll get a Goblin Engineer, and we will stick an Academy Manufactor into the graveyard. We might be pretty good here, given that we can now we're sort of on the offensive now. And they may have to block with Cauldra. Like, I'm definitely not blocking a Cauldra. That part doesn't bother me that much. Their Saga was definitely not as good as my Saga. Because they had to spend their second turn where they could have had a construct with another land. So that kind of stinks. I don't know why you're not just tapping this land for mana. Seems like the correct play would have to tapped it for a colorless first. And then be able to get the value out of it. But the question is like, what do you do here? Do you put Cauldron into play now? Or do you wait till I attack to put it into play? I think they're going to just wait till I attack. But I feel like that doesn't help them that much. What do they have in their hand that they could possibly have that's a 2-drop? I think is the question. Like, there's Spirit of the Labyrinth, there's Cathar Commando. There's a whole range of things that they could have in their hand at 2. Okay. Second main to activate Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Okay, 2-drop from their hand. What do we got? If it's Thalia, that's fine. Oh, no, I'm not worried about Thalia. Yeah. Thalia's okay. I'm actually least worried about Thalia. Because these constructs are going to be gigantic in a second. Cast Faithless Looting. See if we can net ourselves a Oval Chase Daredevil would be nice to have. Goblin Engineer. We'll just make another set of things. I mean, we know what they're gonna get. We're gonna put in the Cauldra, and that's gonna eat one of the tokens. But at the same time, I'm not so really thoroughly worried about that, because they have to block. They probably have to block with Thalia. I feel like they have to block with Thalia. Because they have to have something else in hand that deals with... Yeah, okay. They probably have a 3-drop in hand that probably deals with the other token. Like... Flicker Wisp or something like that. But I'm less worried about that. They're just trying to make the game go long, and that's what D&T does best. If I could net a Time Sieve, that would probably be like the really good thing to do. Another port. Yeah, I'm not really totally worried about... I'm not really worried about Rishadan port. Like, it seems like this Faithless Looting. Okay, they're holding priority really hard here. Let's just go on the offensive and take an extra turn. One, two, three, four, five. Take an extra turn. Put in this other Academy Manufactor. Now we have something that does something. And now I just take an extra turn. Weld a food token into another cookbook. Basically, we just have to find a way to answer a yeah, let's 3, 4, 5. Let's draw a card with a clue. Draw a card with a clue. And we get to win the game because of the Time Sieve loop. I think that's pretty cool when you get to do that. It's a neat little thing that the deck does that just kind of makes it kind of interesting. Definitely very, very amusing to watch in action. Faithless Looting seems not so good here, but we want to have things like Aether Spellbomb, Pithing Needle, Gear Per Aether Grid. You can shut off Aether Vial. Gear Per Aether Grid is probably going to kill most of their creatures, depending on if they don't have a Mother of Runes to prevent them from to prevent the damage. Cool to see the Time Sieve loop, though. Actually, I think that's a pretty neat effect. It does some pretty cool stuff. Aether Grid on turn 1. Well, not turn 1. Goblin Welder. Saga. Stoneforge Mystic, yep. Same thing. Probably going to get Cauldra. I would say Cauldra. Yeah. That's the real question is, like, there's a wasteland here. Yeah, I think we go for the grid. That card's gonna do way more damage long term than it is gonna not do damage. So The question is like, do you go for cauldron now? Yeah, you definitely go for cauldron now. That means I get a chance to wasteland their saga, which is pretty good, I would think. Okay, so we make we dump a thought monitor down. Let's say I have like a surgical or something. That would be awful. Surgical would be sucky. They probably do have a surgical. I feel it. Yep. Hey, look, there's a surgical. Did they get all of them though? Yeah. Hey, this person clicked the surgical appropriately, so that's cool. Just wasteland the play the Manufactor. So now I have to worry about this cauldron, which is awkward. Spirit of the Labyrinth I'm not really worried about because of Aether Grid. So I can survive cauldron as long as I have a way to generate value with it. So I think we want to all right, so what we can do here is we can block with Academy Manufactor, Recruiter the Guard. Now, I don't think I'm really even worried about Flicker Wisp here. Solitude. Interesting. Let's see here. I don't need to see. I think that's trample, and that's awkward. We're going to pitch a food token as the Manufactor. Do they have another a solitude? Yeah, I'm not worried about solitude. Solitude's okay. Unless their last hand in their hand, card in their hand is an actual plow, which would be kind of funny, but I feel like they would have cast that by now. All right, let's... try and draw a card here. It's awkward to be this low against... the D&T, but I could really use an Aether Spell Bomb, really, at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna put that guy in the Asmor in front of here. Cauldra. Doesn't really matter. So I can't tap my Ancient Tomb for anything. Don't have a Snaring Bridge. I mean, I wasn't gonna tap that card anyways. Seems okay for me to not have to worry about that. So I have to just kind of like block. I'm still not going to tap that Ancient Tomb, friend. Okay, Flicker Wisp is fine. Yep, I will concede to the Flicker Wisp. And Snaring Bridge. You're gonna get brought in. Soul Guide Lantern seems bad here. It only seems good as like a repeatable card draw, which I don't think we're doing in this. They're bringing in Surgical and stuff, so... Alright, yes, I would like to play first. Do. Playing first is great. we are definitely cooking up the value. I'm not gonna make any like cooking puns here. That would be awful. This is a hard mulligan of the most extreme proportions. This is fine. This is fine. I want to pitch the Badlands because I don't need a Badlands. I need a fetch. But we can go turn 1. Great Furnace. Mox Opal, Aether Spellbomb. And that is like a reasonable amount of artifacts that I can potentially cast a Thought Monitor. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Makes it 4. Just drop a Manufactor into play. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm more worried about you having a Wasteland than anything else, honestly. Spirited Labyrinth is fine, or Stoneforge Mystic is fine. Spirited Labyrinth is what I'm really more worried about here. Again, with Culture Complete. Although now I have like a Spell Bomb. So that makes it a little bit more interesting. I need a source of mana here or an artifact. To reduce the cost of a Thought Monitor. That will do it. We will also put into play another Thought Monitor. Pithing Needle came a little too late in regards to yeah. We're gonna Spellbomb that bad boy back to its hand. Pithing Needle. We get to name Stoneforge Mystic. And we can start cooking. And I think we can just get in there with some Thought Monitors. Because I can Spellbomb the the germ once they go to attack with it. Yeah, okay, I'm not worried about that card now. I'm less worried about that card now. An Aether Grid would be a really good draw right about now. Look at that. Love Aether Grid. Card's really good. It's awkward. Culture Complete being put back. It's kind of cruddy. I don't really care about the Thalia at this point. I care about this Culture Complete that's going to come back in. So now I need to Academy Manufactor and then start picking off their creatures. So that the only thing I have to worry about is this Culture Complete until I can find like a welder or something like that to weld back in Aether Spellbomb is really what I'm worried about. I think they're trying to determine if they want to attack, and I don't think they want to. Like... If I draw a welder here, that's pretty good. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Welder or engineer would be great because then I could start doing ensnaring bridge. They're thinking pretty hard. They're low on time too. Okay, welder is absolutely an appropriate play. Like that's absolutely fantastic. Because I can kill their other creatures. Three drop. Now, Skyclave Apparition would kind of ruin my day. Okay. Non-creature spells. Sure. Not actually worried about that. Don't play... Alright, so... Grid is just going to shut that down. Sure, you can Karakas it back to your hand. We will just... I should have used Grid with the All right, so now we get to play Manufactor. Let's get back Aether Spellbomb. Cool thing we can do here is that we don't have to now worry about them being able to cast 1-drop spells. So like no Source of Plowshare is now in the mix here, and no Aether Vials. Yeah, Yorion in their hand is fine. Alright, so we will Spellbomb that back to their hand. And grid the creature. You can't cast 1-drops now, so like that's kind of funny and problematic for the fact that you can't cast. Alright, we'll sack a clue token for a thought monitor. Extreme value, Saga. Saga it's fine. This Academy Manufactor has pulled all the weight this entire game, and that's just like fantastic. This entire match has just been pulled off by Academy Manufactor. The card is so good. I might actually be able to kill a Yorion. Like, that's the funny part here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's funny. I could actually kill a Yorion with this all right. 1, 2, 3. No. We're still gear pouring. 3. They're responding pretty slowly. 4. 5. kill a Yorion with a single cure for Aether Grid. That's amazing. This deck is so cool. I'm loving it. Loving it. Then of course we just get back Aether Spellbomb and Aether Spellbomb back their stuff. Like 0. 0 is just amazing. Okay. Crucible of Worlds is pretty swanky. We'll sacrifice the clue token for Aether Spell Bomb. We'll just keep up the business. I'm pretty happy that I killed a Yorion with a Aether Aether Grid. That's just amazing. Retrofitter Foundry is fine. Recruiter the Guard. Hey, look, we want a match. Yay. Aether Grid is so good against these decks that are reliant a lot on creatures. So I was really happy to see that come together there. Just a very grindy game. We can see here that our opponent had 2 minutes left on the clock, and it's just really, really insane. But that's what DNT wants to do, is it wants to kind of go long. But this deck also grinds pretty well. So we'll come back for round 3 here in a second. So thank you guys for continuing to watch, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and enjoy. Hope you enjoy what you're watching so far. All right, so we are here for round 3 of our food journey. And we are on the play here, and I don't mind this hand. It's got Saga and Ancient Tomb and some things to do with that. It doesn't really have much else to do, though, like just Manufactors. But it has a lot of mana, so I guess... I don't know. I don't think I keep this, actually. This seems awkward. I think we mulligan this. This seems a little bit better. Same thing, Saga, Tomb. But we could also play Crucible Worlds, which seems fine. Goblin Engineer. So I think we'll keep this. We'll bend the Faithless Looting. Seems like an okay thing to get rid of at this point. Waiting on my opponent to determine if they are keeping or mulliganing. We'll put back the thing. Oh, whoops. Go to my other main phase. And play an Urza Saga. Gonna guess that this is Allurin. So just gonna have to hope that we don't have like a turn 3 Allurin kill. Oh, interesting to see what they go for here. Bayou. I could guess Uro. Yeah. Which means we have to get Soul Guide Lantern here with the Urza Saga. And just kind of hope we don't have a... And I hope we don't... And of course, hope we didn't draw the Soul Guide Lantern. Soul-Guide Lantern, not really the Uro. Attack with some construct action. An allure in here would be bad because I would probably lose depending on what they have in hand. If they're playing the 4-color version, then they can Recruiter. If they're playing Bug, they could just play a Sararak. It's an interesting concept. Not really sure what they could do here. Living Wish. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely on Allurin. This is definitely a Living Wish Allurin build. Brazen Bar. Okay. Yeah, you keep drawing all these. Play Crucible World. See if they have a force effect for Crucible World. They probably bounce one of the tokens, I assume. Like, you have to bounce one of the tokens. If you bounce them, you take 3 instead of 4, so that's not bad. Yeah. Having an Allurin might bug me, but I don't think they've got one just yet. I haven't seen a fact that they tapped their Dryad Arbor for that. Probably means that they don't have an Allurin just yet, which gives us a lot of time. If they had a quick Allurin, we might be dead. But if they had if they have a kind of a slow control hand, then we might just be good because they might not have any force effects. Decay is fine. All right, so then we get Goblin Engineer. And we should probably put a Manufactor in the graveyard. Because then we can go get Cookbook. Living Wish. Endurance. That's actually fine. Actually, more than okay with that, because we're still going to make pretty big set of constructs here. Cookbook. We are really hurting ourselves to go down here for this, but it's so good. Yeah, you have to force a will. That's respectful. get another. Put a Manufactor down there. And we'll get some. So they have to block with endurance at this point, because they are at they were at 12, so. There's no. Okay. They're just conceding to that. The real question becomes is how do we beat Allurin if it happens? And I think the biggest thing is like Thoughtseize to make sure it stays out of their hand, but also Trinisphere because it just shuts off Allurin, makes it harder for them to have to be able to do things. Looting seems real bad here, but I want Thoughtseizes so I can actually take stuff out of their hand. If I can get a Trinisphere into play with a Saga on board, I think I should be good in this matchup. That's definitely interesting. So I think they probably, because of Living Wish, they may not bring in Collector Oof. That could be bad. Brazen Borrower is an interesting sideboard card for a Living Wish deck, so that's kind of cool. Kind of a bouncy permanent answering thing. All right, waiting for. Yeah, this is not a keepable hand. This is better. I don't know how good this is. An Ancient Tomb. It would be really good. If that was a Badlands, I think I'd feel happier about. Ugh. Oh, just get Collector Hooped. Was not expecting that. Okay. All right, then I am probably not good in a good position here. I just need to actually we'll take their Ponder. Okay, yeah, I'm not winning. I can't outpace the thing. I think I probably might need Aether Grid too. Crucible seems meh. Factor seems meh. But at least Aether Grid gives me a way to remove Collector Oof. Fortunately, not a turn 1 transfer, but it's reasonable. Play the cookbook. Basically, just have to be able to hope that their turn 1 is not a mana ramp dork. Bird's Paradise, sure. Do we force it with a Mox Opal? Play the transfer. I feel like if you're going to force something, you have to force this. Right? Yes, you do. Well, then we can do Goblin Engineer. Ugh. I can block the oof at this point. Like Aether Grid would be like absolutely perfect right about now. Be able to snap off the birds and potentially the oof. I would have rather had another land rather than a Thoughtseize, but and maybe I should have Thoughtseized them. Oh, Force Will. Okay, sure. This is an interesting game because there's any number of really, really super live draws that I could pull here that would make this game turn around really quickly. Like, Aether Grid is like the best one for 3. I guess you get Uro. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Aether Grid would have been really nice, but see what we got going on top. Okay, well, I guess I get rid of one of your Allurans. You can't cast Uro, though. So that part is, like, kind of nice. Oh, yeah, now you can. I'm just gonna keep drawing, like, all these really bad cards that do nothing. Now you, well, okay, you could cast Uro, but or these Asmors that are just gonna sit in my hand and do nothing. Grist. That's something. Yeah, that card's really good, honestly. All right, so now we can 3-ball into play. We got a game here. This is a game. They can blow up my welder with Grist. But does the Allurin in their hand matter? Or does escaping Uro matter? I feel like it's escaping Uro. Sure. Stop killing my stuff, man. Man in the figurative sense, I mean. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to lose to this Uro pretty hard. There are a number of very, very super live draws that probably would have gotten me there in this game, but I don't think we have the time now to draw them, especially with they have an Allurin in hand. So, just going to have to call it a wash and move on to the next one. So we'll be going to that match shortly here. Okay, we are here for round 4 of our Cooking with Value. Alright, so there's a Yorion. So I'm gonna guess this is Death and Taxes. This actually seems okay. Like, seems reasonable. It has a Saga. Yeah, Mother of Runes. I think problematically, like, we could run into a situation where the Saga would get wastelanded, or they have a port or something like that. Okay. Attacking with Mother of Runes is a play. A play among plays. Put an Academy Manufactor into play. What are the odds that they have the Swords to Plowshares for it? They'd have to, right? Or Skyclave, yeah, that would do it too. Sure. I would just hope they don't have a Wasteland for our Saga. I think that would be problematic. Because I want to play the other Saga the next turn. So yeah, let's just not have a Wasteland. We're on the aggro plan now. When Death Attacks is on the aggro plan, you know that something's gone wrong with life. Vial, okay. All right, so we can make a construct. We could theoretically block the Skyclave with the construct. I guess that depends on what we decide we need to do to win this game. I mean, Weird question is, okay, sure, you're just trying to push through your damage. This is a weird game. But now things start to get interesting, because now Saga gets to... Because now we get Cookbook. And we get to Cookbook Asmor. Can we just cast that? Nope, not yet. I'll just put this... Drop the top monitor. Yeah, sure. Solituding my my thing is totally okay. This is totally the finest thing I've ever done. Yes, I'm gonna get a cookbook. I haven't seen an oval chase Daredevil in a couple games, which is kind of odd. Like another Skyclave apparition. Okay, Recruiter of the Guard, sure. Would be like another Skyclave would be kind of broken, but like I think it has to be like Solitude. Stoneforge Mystic. I actually don't even really care too much about Stoneforge Mystic. This cookbook. And Goblin Engineer. Put in Academy Manufactor. Like, I'm always scared of Cauldra, but that card doesn't... It's one of those cards that's, like, kind of difficult to deal with main deck, but I can probably push through it. Yeah, I mean, I knew that's what they were going to get. Yeah. It's too bad that says combat damage. It would be super funny if yeah, I'm gonna have to take let's make them use their Mother of Runes. Now let's see if they pick the right color. Because they have to pick white, actually. It's the creature dealing damage to itself. Oh! Okay, so they just have no... How does that work? Target creature deals damage to itself. That shouldn't do that. I guess it's because it targets. Like, I guess that's what it is. Like... That's still kind of super odd to me. Let's see here. Sacrifice an artifact. Get rid of their apparition. We can make a pretty big construct. Yeah, the Spirit of the Labyrinth actually doesn't really totally bother me. What bothers me is a Yorion, honestly. Which they could put Yorion in hand. Just gonna block. And put... Yeah, Yorion in hand bugs me. Because that card is really good. Okay. Do a Mox Opal. I'm gonna draw something here. Oh, that's right. I can't draw more than one card per turn. That's cute. Oh, man. When things like occur... that make certain things happen, I forgot about that. Super awkward. I actually really enjoyed these games, though. These games are cool. They have some unique qualities to them. Doesn't matter which one I... Oh, wait. That doesn't do anything. Forgot about trample. Yorion coming down here is just scary. Just frightened of this card. It's so good. Yeah. Yeah, basically giving your Cauldron Complete Vigilance is pretty strong. I'm guessing that they get a Flicker Wisp because that's probably just the most absurd loop on the planet. Yeah. Yep, and flicker out Yorion for the turn. So I think problematically, like, I'm problematically dead because of the Orion Flicker Wisp loop, so... Alright, so Aether Grid, Aether Grid, Aether Spell Bomb. I think that's good. The deck is super fun. It needs something. I'm not really sure what it is, but it does do well. It has some very interesting stuff going on. So. This is a weird hand that I don't think does anything that I want it to do. Is this... I feel like this was not a keep, but it's too late now. Oh, I forgot to bring in Pithing Needle for the vials. Yeah, so see, I... Any number of like a port or a wasteland would have like ruined this setup, because I get Mox Opal. File. Double file. Cookbook, cookbook. Mind break check my cookbook. Welder. I guess I just gotta try and get the setup going. Get the Academy Manufactor setup going with cookbooks so that I can start taking turns of Time Sieve. I feel like you have to get Solitude, right? Like, that feels like the correct play to me, because you have to be able to instant speed. Oh, Skyclave Apparition. Okay. I can cast this card this turn? Oh, but then I can't cast... Oh, no. Okay. Take an extra turn. I don't think you're gonna get to take another turn. I think that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure I get to take... like... Okay, well, I messed this up. Ha 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 ha. I should have just man. I thought maybe I might have had it and to get the loop, but now I've got to fuss with a Cauldra and this Skyclave Apparition, which is gonna hit my Time Sieve. Has to, doesn't it? Like, think I was just trying to be cute. Couldn't figure it out. Like, you have to hit the time sieve. I think that's the correct thing here, because otherwise, like, I could start popping off and go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, that is correct. Yeah. Man, they just had everything in this game. I mean, okay. Yeah, I really messed that one up. Yeah, okay. I don't think I'm gonna beat this game. So, sorry about that, folks. This happens. This is a pretty new deck to me, and I'm just trying to figure this deck out a lot for the most part. So, I think I could have probably been okay there, but I don't know. So, we'll try to go for the last round here, and see how it goes. All right, so here we are for our last round of this cooking up value deck, and we are on the play. So let's see what we can cook up here. See, we're on the play. We got a Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer. Yeah, just go for it. They're mulliganing. Goblin Welder. And Dryad Militant. Okay. I'm not sure what this is, but okay, sure. Let's go put a Manufactor into the graveyard. Planes. I'm not sure what I'm playing against here, but getting to yeah, sure, thanks. That basically did really kind of nothing. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, I'll take 2. I don't really... That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Mardu Woe Reaper. Yeah, well, we got Saga. So, online. So we can go get... cookbook, start making... or not. We just concede. That's... okay, that's fine too. What a weird game. I'm not really sure what's going on here. So... Crucible Worlds. Crucible Worlds seems fine. Aether Grid. Seems like a creature deck. So... see what they got. This seems fine. I have no game actions. Oh, okay. I see what we're going for here. We are going for searching your library tribal, which you got Athalia. Seems real bad against this deck that wants to play Path to Exile and stuff. Yeah. It's a hate bear deck. Oh, okay. Yeah. Making me have to pay 4 to search my library is probably not very good. I feel like I want Pitsy Needle for like Ghost Quarter. And probably Spellbomb. Cook the books. Very cute. Okay. Mardu Woe Reaper. A oval chase Daredevil would have been nice, but beggars can't be choosers. That would be great to get with the with another Manufactor in play, though. Yeah. Let's get a Time Sieve. And let's just hope we have this welder or this engineer survive until next turn, so we can start doing Time Sieve shenanigans. Like, that's basically what it boils down to, is I have to hope that they don't have removal for the Goblin Engineer to start doing Time Sieve stuff. Okay. Now we're never taking another turn again. That's basically what this boils down to. Take an extra turn. Does this cost? All right, so let's make a construct. Cast this thought monitor for UU, or for 1 blue. Make a bunch of art permanents with go to 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will put in another Manufactor into the graveyard. And we will put in this. Get a Mox Opal. Get this land. Yes. Attack with this 16/16. Three, 4, 5. Take an extra turn. Discard the Daredevil. 2 2020s. Block. Time Sieve. Several turn 9s later, we finally put down enough damage to win. So, hey! Well, at least we got back our entry fee with this deck. I really feel like that fourth Death and Taxes match might have gone a little bit better, but I definitely had some misplays with the Time Sieve in trying to get the Time Sieve to work, and I really kind of messed that up. So, I think I could have gotten it to work had I really focused on it and tried to focus on completing the loop at first instead of trying to do extra things during the loop. But you never know. Who knows? I think that this deck was fun, though. It was certainly unique. I definitely only lost one match 0-2. I managed to at least 1-2 pretty much every match that I lost other than that, and I 2-1 the 2 matches that I did win. So I feel pretty okay with the actual games. I just think the Aloran deck is obviously going to be difficult because of Collector Roof, and we got to have an answer for that. I think everything looks fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, please check out the rest of the videos on our channel, and please hit that subscribe button. Thanks.